Hello and welcome to TTV. His Excellency KK Ehsan Wagan, the ambassador of Pakistan to the Sultanate of Oman, has finally ended his tenure in this country, which lasted for 2 years. And we are here at the Pakistan Embassy in Muscat, most probably for the last time in conversation with him, to ask him how his journey has been in this country. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us. I know it would be an emotional day for you as you bid adieu to this beautiful country. How has your journey been for these 2 years in the Sultanate of Oman?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good morning, viewers. Thank you, Ms. Madiha, giving me this opportunity to say departing notes to my fellow countrymen, dear friends from the Omani society, my friends in the government circles. I have been here for 2 years and 1 month, and it is eventful 2 years in this country. Coming back to Oman, say for a second time, it is a very interesting journey. Though these 2 years were horrific in a sense that the entire world was facing the COVID-19 pandemic. During my stay here in Oman, my entire focus was ensuring welfare and well-being of Pakistani community members residing in various parts of the country. But overall, I say it has been very, very productive and a successful stay of more than 2 years in Oman.
Right. So it wouldn't be wrong to say that you were one of the trendsetters during these 2 years, starting with the repatriation flight, starting with food program, even with the blood campaign. How did you manage to do all that despite the COVID restrictions and the pandemic going on?
I think let me, on this August forum, let me also offer my deep gratitude and thanking message to His Majesty's government and the relevant departments for assisting me and my team in performing such remarkable tasks, whether it's the repatriation of 17,000 Pakistanis back to Pakistan, whether reaching out to our community in a lockdown area for provision of food assistance, more than 13,000 people, whether it was a Prime Minister's COVID-19 pandemic fund account, we have substantially contributed, whether it was a Roshan digital account where Pakistani community has substantially contributed, whether it was the repatriation of more than 150 prisoners who were given a royal pardon by His Majesty, or even outpasses. I remember during outpasses we were working 24/7 to process the outpasses of the Pakistani community members, or the cyclone. We were in Batna region. So if you look at all these activities, if I go in detail, list will be long, but I have highlighted one of very, very important, very few initiatives, and I say this out-of-box thinking during these challenging time, and which has created enormous impact among the Pakistani diaspora living in Oman, and even we have reached out our Omani brothers in hour of need. So during the pandemic, I would say these were some of the out-of-way thinking process which really helped me to carry out my mission successfully.
Right, sir. And now, looking at these 2 years that you have been here, if you had to talk about some of the milestones or achievements, I know the list is long as you said, what would be some of those achievements that you would like to
I think
remember?
very interesting question. I would put top of line is the visit of 25 member business delegation to Pakistan. This was I would say in last so many decades. This is the first time that the high-powered business delegation I took to Pakistan. We landed in Karachi. We met the Chief Minister of Sindh. We met the Governor of Sindh and the entire business leadership in Karachi, whether the chambers or B2B meetings, and then we went to Islamabad. And in Islamabad, my entire top-tier leadership received the delegation. The President of Pakistan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Chairman Senate of Pakistan, Foreign Minister of Pakistan, the Investment Minister, CPEC Authority Minister, list goes on and on with the political leadership. So the amount of exposure given to the business leaders and the warm reception extended to business delegation in Islamabad is unparalleled. And then we have B2B meetings and the way it is with the chamber. And at the last leg of tour, we were in Lahore. And again, Chief Minister, Governor, the ministers, business leaders, business chambers, we met the leaderships there. So all in all, this was one of the key success, I would say, which will help us in promoting trade, commercial and investment relationship between the two
Right,
countries. As this relationship is envisioned by His Majesty under the 2040 vision, and it also complements Prime Minister of Pakistan's vision of connectivity and economic development. So both leaders have the same vision on transforming commercial, trade and economic relationship between the two countries. So I think I have laid the foundation for strong commercial relationship between the two countries, and I highlight as a topmost achievement of my stay here.
Right, sir. And now, sir, talking about, again, referring to these 2 years, because today it's just going to be talking about your tenure in the Sultanate of Oman. What do you think, as an ambassador, were there any challenges that you faced due to the ongoing pandemic? And what challenges, or how do you think the new ambassador, when he comes to the Sultanate of Oman, what kind of challenges or obstacles he would be facing that you would want to tell him in advance?
I think there again you have to think really out of box, which helped me in a way that in every city I developed two committees. One was Elders Committee and other was the Doctors Committee. So when we developed the Elders Committee in Nizwa, Sur, Salala, Brahmi, Muscat, all these, Sohar, all these important cities where Pakistani diaspora is living, and then the Pakistani doctors who are working in those areas, and their contact details were circulated among the Pakistani community members living in those areas. This mechanism was to have a direct access with the ambassador and the community through elders and the doctors. So I think during pandemic it has really paid off. So I am sure the incoming ambassador, Ambassador Imran, he is a thorough professional. He has worked in the community stations. He is coming from Barcelona, Spain. We have a larger community. He has worked in Toronto, Canada, where we have a big community. So he has huge exposure dealing with the community related issues. So I'm sure where I am leaving, Ambassador Imran will be taking over to ensure welfare and well-being of the Pakistani community. The challenges, last part of your question, the challenges, of course, there was a huge challenge because nobody was open. The offices were closed. The government machinery, government offices were closed. We have to follow the SOPs. We have to follow social distancing, and we have to see the announcements made by the Supreme Committee. And the Supreme Committee, I must highlight, done the remarkable job in containing COVID infections in this country. So in view to offer our respect and to follow the guidelines through provided us through Supreme Committee, I think all in all, I would say that it was very successful outreach to community to serve our Pakistani diaspora during pandemic.
Right, sir. So quickly, when should we expect the new ambassador to be arriving in the Sultanate of Oman? Because if I'm not wrong, you're leaving today. So when is that seat going to be filled with the new ambassador?
I think I've been in contact with the Ambassador Imran. Let me also say this, that we joined the Foreign Service of Pakistan together. We are from the same batch and we know each other 27 years plus. So almost daily basis we have been contacting. He is a phenomenal man. He is coming. I told him, Ambassador Imran, as soon as I leave, that is tomorrow on 27th, and Ambassador Imran will be arriving inshallah on 28th of January. So there's not a big gap that we want to leave this mission without the HIDA mission. So I ensured that the Ambassador Imran arrives as soon as I leave.
Right, sir. Sir, I know that in your mission, community welfare was your top priority. How do you see these 2 years in terms of giving to the community? How difficult, or do you think that you have achieved what you came in mind with, or there was more to do?
Generally, you know what the traditions are. I think I was little bit out of traditions. Why I say so? I thought instead of community giving me the farewells, let me give the farewell to my community. So I started from Sohar, where all entire Batna region, the prominent community members were invited, and I gave my thought and I thanked the community for supporting me. Then we did an event in Muscat, a governorate, all important, our donors, philanthropists, volunteers. I invited them to participate in the farewell, and I provided opportunity to thank them. And then lastly, we went to Salala. And again, we offered our deep gratitude to community in Dhofar region. So this was the thought process where I was thinking to engage community from different perspective, where the ambassador is hosting farewells, saying goodbye to the community. So this was again something new tradition which I introduced. But all in all, I must appreciate and acknowledge role played by Pakistani diaspora in assisting me while I was here, and especially during those challenging times when the COVID infections and COVID-related cases were on rise. So credit goes to my volunteers, credit goes to my donors and philanthropists, and the elders of the community and the doctors, especially the doctors who are in the front line fighting the COVID-19 infections. So all in all, I would say it was a remarkable experience with my community. I add one sentence here. It was because in 2009 to 2013, when I was the deputy ambassador here, that was the connectivity which I still continued with my community, and I think that really paid very well to my mission here, making it more productive and successful.
Right. So one last question. You're talking about the community, and you had so much emotions, while talking about the community welfare. Is there any message that you would like to leave the community with?
I think the most important thing which I have seen the community here, and we have the leadership message also. The Prime Minister of Pakistan has a special vision ensuring welfare and well-being of the community, one. And two, Prime Minister's vision is to give access to the Pakistani diaspora, almost 10 million people living abroad, so that they can participate in upcoming elections. So I would request each one of the community member to please go and make your overseas cards. Once you make your update overseas cards, you'll be able to participate in elections. And your vote and the participation in elections will very, very productive at a national level contribution. And this is the demand of overseas. I have been serving the country. This has been a demand of overseas of maybe 20 years plus, that the overseas Pakistani diaspora should be given the right of vote. So inshallah, time has come. So everyone should participate in this election. And lastly, I would suggest each one of community member, ladies and gentlemen, you are the ambassador of Pakistan. Every one of you has to follow the rules, regulations of this beautiful country. I had one of the finest stay of my career in the foreign service. I have spent more than 7 years in this beautiful country. And I'm leaving behind network and friends. I'm leaving behind the brotherhood. I'm leaving behind the sweet memories of this beautiful country. So I wish each one of you that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this beautiful country under the vision of His Majesty, and peace, progress, and prosperity prevail in entire nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. It was wonderful talking to you and having this conversation for the very last time. We wish you all the best, and we hope you come back again. I'm sure people would be here waiting for you again, so we hope to see you very soon, inshallah.
Thank you, Times TV, for giving me again this opportunity. I know since arrival to departure, we had a lot of interviews during this pandemic. Once again, thank you for your entire team giving me this opportunity to express my views on departing day.
Sir, it has always been our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more interesting videos, stay tuned to TTV.